Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, when I was little I would have died to say that, and now it's like real. So like live in your truth, girl. I just need to start off by saying against all odds, this is happening. Okay, I'm very aware that I missed last week and I do apologize. I truthfully did record an episode. I wasn't obsessed. I kind of was like, I don't know, I feel like, I do like talking about my life. Like, I'm obsessed. So, like, I do enjoy that a little bit more. But I was trying to maybe, like, cultivate a theme and, like, share, like, a life story around that theme. And it was a little messy. And, like, I honestly would have to, like, edit it a lot. And I was kind of lazy. And I was just like, I don't even want to watch this. I don't even feel close to it. And so I decided to not put it out. I was just like, I want to put out things that, oops, free feed. I wanted to put out, I want to put out stuff that like I really enjoy and that I feel like I'm being like funny and silly. And I kind of was just like, that one was mid. So I skipped it. I told nobody. I'm aware, but I did get maybe one, maybe two comments saying like, "Where's the video for it's Wednesday?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah." Keep that energy up. So we are back, we're here, and I do apologize. Maybe I'll even make one later in the weekend just to like see what the fuck is up. Anyway, what just happened to me right now, because you guys are so curious, is that I recorded this. Not a lot of it, but I did record it. Also, this is so ugly. And it died. And this is the second time. Remember, maybe like episode 2, it also died and I had to redo it. And I'm like, why? Why do I need to keep fueling this? What this is so little. I feel like I don't understand. Obviously, I asked ChatGPT and they said that the recorder does take a lot of battery, and I think I had the cheap batteries, so I got like the Energizer Bunny ones because they didn't have the Duracell. Is that even what it's called? Anyway, I just went to Target and I also got like a savory plate. Do you guys know what those are? There's like those things on TikTok. I mean, I don't know if it's a trend, but people are making savory plates and like calling it a dinner. So it's like little pickles and like cucumbers, feta cheese, hummus, like pieces of, chorizo, and like just like a grazing plate, maybe like pretzels and like red peppers and a little bit of like, I don't know, blueberries. I don't know. Either way, I've been craving that, and my idea was I was going to go to Hallmark. I was going to go to Fairway, excuse me, after this, and I was going to go fucking nuts. Like, they have the insane olive section. I really still could have done it. I don't know why, but I gave up because I was like, I was leaving the house once, and I had to get these batteries. So I got all of my groceries, my produce from Target. So if I don't wake up tomorrow, you know why. Anyway, I wanted to start off by saying, do you guys like, does my face, are you recognizing it more? Because did you see me on live TV? Guys, my first ever commercial. This is going to be amazing because, like, in 5 years, we're going to be like, wow, she did that. But my first ever commercial ever aired this past week. If you saw it, please let me know. It was a JCPenney commercial with Shaq, which was amazing. So cool, so fucking sick. It was a nationwide commercial, which honestly ate down. It's also being told on radio. So listen out if you hear my vocal fry, that's me. But anyway, I filmed this maybe like a month and a half ago in Dallas. And they flew us out to Texas. It was like a 2-day shoot. It was like super quick. And it was so sick. It came out so good. Sometimes when you do stuff like this, I'm like, can I see like the product before? And they were like, no. And honestly, that's fine because I do like the way that it came out. But yeah, tell me if you saw it. I got so many texts and so many messages about it because it's cool that it's a commercial. So it's like airing all the time. Not all the time, but it was cool that it was a nationwide commercial at a specific time. You know what I mean? Like, it was aired on Thursday Night Football with Amazon Prime. They do like the NFL on Thursdays. This is all news to me. And so everyone was watching it. I'll let you know. Okay, I know that every single ex and every man I ever gave a hickey to saw the video. So I was very excited for that. It was also funny because people came out of the goddamn woodwork, obviously, because we're popping. And they messaged me and texted me photos of me on TV, like, because they're watching the game, which is just so fun. I loved that happened. And it was all at the same exact time, like it wasn't like people were like, oh, I saw like you had a good video, weeks later or something, it was all like, oh my God, you're on my TV right now. And I was like, absolutely. So it was so cool. But yeah, I got a lot of texts from unknown numbers. And I was like, okay, interesting. I mean, it's just, I'm assuming that they're guys that I don't like or people that I obviously didn't like too much, which is why I don't have their number saved. But I did feel a little bit bad. I didn't answer because I was like, what if they're guys that I like gave my number out to like years and years ago, and I just don't, we don't need to reconnect or like make, a connection right now. And I did appreciate it though. But anyway, it was funny because people sent me so many photos of me on the TV and their surroundings were just so funny and crazy. Like a lot of it were like guys' rooms or like living rooms. So it was like a little dirty. I was like, damn, you're dusty. But it was cool to see. Like it was like I put a photo dump on my Instagram. It was a collage of just people sending me the things, the photos of me, because it was fun because it's like every TV is like different shape and like someone's foot and like their cat in the back, like it was cool to see that in so many different households. I thought that that was cool. And I was like, I'm going to post that. And I made a little collage. So if you didn't look, go check. You're going to love it. Anyway, so that was my Thursday. I went to Omakase with my sister. Omakase. I don't know. I've said this once and people are like, that's not how you say it. And that's it. It's a nickname. Okay. It's what we call each other. But I went to Omakase with my sister and it was so good. I've only done that once before on a date. Man was trying to wife me. Miss him. And it was so fucking good. It was fun too because we went to dinner. Like we went to Omakase during when the commercial was airing, which we already had these reservations, and like I was just like, whatever, I'll see it eventually. So it was fun because we were at dinner, we're doing sake, and then people are texting me saying, you're on my TV, what the hell? And I was like, wow, that's fun. So we actually ended up seeing it later. Like later we went to a comedy club and they have like a bunch of TVs there, and it was cool because I feel like I look like I have a cock. Like these are like kind of big, but I didn't really look at myself because I was like, I need to get this episode out immediately. Anyway, we ended up seeing it. We saw it live like hours later, but it was like running the whole night. And I was like, fuck yeah. But I was like, that's so cool. I was very happy about that, especially Thursday night football. Okay, I feel like that was like, obviously it was cool because Shaq won. 2, J.C. Penney's like a household name. But 3, the air slot time, 8 down. Okay, I would absolutely do that again, but very cool, very exciting. Tell me if you watched it and if you loved it. As of that was Thursday. Then Friday, I ended up going out. I went out. I partied, which was really fun. When I went out on Friday, I ended up going to the club with my friends. We went to Little Sister Lounge, if you know, you know. And I kind of just wanted to like dance and be bizarre, and that's what happened, which was super fun. And I met this guy who was like, oh, like come to my table, whatever. And I was kind of with him the whole night. I mean, I was at his table the whole night. But anyway, he was cool. I was like, okay, boyfriend. I mean, honestly, I do, but I don't. I feel like I need to be single, and I'm like being really bizarre about being like, who's next? And I'm like, I don't even think I'm in a normal right place for somebody. Just kidding. I'm always in the right place in the right time. But you know what I mean. Anyway, I met him at the club. And it was fun. I mean, we were obviously like talking, but we're obviously drunk and like not sober, and just like, it's hard to understand each other over the music, but we exchanged numbers and he was cool. Again, I kind of was like, if he doesn't text me, it's fine, because it's like a place and time type of thing. It's like we had our night, we had our moment, and like sometimes it's hard to recreate. Like we were at the club, how can you top that? But then he texted me. He texted me on Sunday, and he says, we texted a bit on Saturday, of course. And then on Sunday, we were texting, and he's like, oh, when can I see you again, type B? And I was like, I'm free Tuesday, Wednesday. Gave him my schedule. I gave him that. And then he said, okay, Wednesday's like, maybe he said like we could like probably do the Knicks or something. Like, let me look into it. And then I was like, fuck yeah. I've been to one Knicks game in my life and it was fun, but like, yeah, I want to go with a dude and like be hot in heels and just be like sick and like not knowing where to go, and like he's telling me what to do, like I wanted that. And I was like, oh my god, fuck yeah, Knicks game. that was Sunday. Monday, I don't even respond. Well, I fell asleep. So then on Monday, I just loved the message because that's me. I'm loving it. You know, like you tell me what to do. The options for that was to either say, hey, here are the tickets, or B, you say, couldn't get them, let's do a drink, or any type of follow up. He said, when can I see you? I gave my availability. Suddenly he said, adios. Man hasn't texted me, and it is Wednesday, and the game's tonight, and I'm seeing so many posts just being like, first game of the season, and I'm like, why'd you even tell me that? Why'd you could have been like, now I feel like I didn't even text him because I was going to double text and be like, hey, what the fuck is up? But also was like, we don't need to do that. Okay. If he's not messaging me, he's not messaging me. That's it. If he wants to talk, he wants to talk. And I kind of was just like, why'd you even tell me that? One, because now it's on my mind the next game. Two, even if he didn't have the Knicks and he was like, let's get drinks, you can't live down the hype of the Knicks game. You know what I mean? Like now that's in my head. Like you just like dangled and like teased like the best option, and now suddenly you said never mind. So whatever, it's fine. Um, with my dating life, what else is happening? My friend has a photo of me on Hinge, and she made the caption or prompt like, "Who wants to go on a double date with me and Daniela?" And like some guy messaged her today and was like, "Would you guys want to?" Whatever. And I've never even been on a double date, so I don't even know. But I feel like who's for who, you know? Like I feel like we would like maybe the better energy is like going to the date and then like seeing who likes who and then just going from there. But like, what if we both like the same guy? You know, like what if we're both vibing with the same guy and the other guy's weird and the friend is smelly? You know, like I don't know. Also, what if it's switch? You know, like I feel like I don't like going into it unclear. I don't really like competing like romantically. Like I'm here and I'm perfect and that's it. And not that it would be a competition, but just like I don't know, I wouldn't want unclear vibes because my husband needs to be in love with me and that's really it. So I don't know if I would do that. I guess it would be fun. I'm also like, I'm feeling like am I even not allowed to get in a relationship because free will, but like I don't know. I feel like I just got out of something. Do I give it a beat? I would love to jump in. I want to be a serial fucking monogamous dater and like lose my identity in a guy. Like that sounds fun. I want to be like, I got to bring my boyfriend, even to my friend's delivery room. Like I want to be that person, but it's not clocking. So instead, I have to be independent and successful and an individual. How annoying. Anyway, so that's been what's going on lately. I also saw a psychic on Thursday. Me and my sister had such a Thursday night. Like we did omakase, then I went to a show, then we like started drinking more because we already did. We actually did omakase, drank, bar, a little drink, went to a show. I didn't drink because I'm on stage. Then we like went to another comedy club, got a drink, chatted, hitting strangers' pens, go home. And then we did a psychic reading. And then we went to another place to eat, which we did have two dinners, but that's okay. And then when we got our psychic reading, we were just like so unwell because we're just like drunk and high. And she was like, you're gonna love yourself soon. And I'm just like, huh? Like I did understand all of it and it is all good, but I'm like, I don't think I need to go back for a while because like, I don't know. I feel like I understood. It's just like I can't be like, what am I doing tomorrow? Like I don't know how how not accurate it is. I guess like how like detailed, like I don't really know if I would even want that. Like if I could know what I'm doing in a year exactly, like let's keep it a surprise. So that was my Thursday. Friday I had shows. No, Friday I went out, and then Saturday I had shows, and then Sunday I went to a food festival with my family. That was just funny. This guy messaged me and gave me tickets, and that's happened before. Like they'll give me or offer, a gifting or like a service or something like that. But it was just funny because then we literally hung out with him the entire time, which, I don't know if that's wasn't a part of the service, but it was just funny. And something that happens to me, and maybe the YouTube audience knows a bit better, is that every time I drink, I feel like I get this like insane rosacea. I get very flushed. And I think I know what it is. Like it's just like the flushing alcohol like symptom or whatever, but like is there more to it? Like I don't know. Like my entire face was red, beet red. I don't know if it was because we ate and drank so much in like a short period of time, but like a lot of the time, like if I get like too, I don't know if it's like too um espresso martinis. Sometimes when I get a drink with like a little too much like a little too much judge. I get like a little like ugh, like I don't know how to explain it. Like I got two margaritas once on a date and I kind of was like ugh, like I couldn't. It was making me feel a little asthmatic, and just like kind of like I needed an asthma pump, and to which I normally do hit it. I don't know. Maybe it's drinking fast, but like I feel like that just anyway, it just happens to me. It's crazy, but I guess the topic that I wanted to talk about, which I kind of discussed last time, but I never really got it off the ground because I wasn't obsessed with it, but maybe now with the better view I can share. But I shared this on TikTok recently that I was talking about my glow up. And I know people are probably like, girl, like you look fine. But I can't explain like how different I am now, I guess, obviously, since 10 years ago, because, like, obviously, but I feel like I'm 27, but, like, I feel like I still not feel close to my high school experience or whatever, but, like, that obviously feels like so short ago, and, like, I don't have the best memory there, but, like, just the way I was and like my whole identity perhaps like feels like a step away. And in high school, I was pretty beat. I even feel bad saying this because it's about me, and I'm like, stop, she was cute. But like, I was a little chopped. In my high school, I had a missing tooth. I had a missing tooth my senior year. My mom decided to put braces on me. My sister had it in eighth grade, and then she was good for high school. No, my mom said clock in for high school. I had a missing tooth because one of my teeth were in my nose, and it was sorry, I keep looking at this because I have PTSD, but one of my teeth was in my nose. Like the baby tooth never came down. It was the baby tooth and then it never came down. So they had to pull my tooth out and like lasso this tooth from my nose. So I had braces with a gap and then the brace went over it. Like it just looked like a fucked up Amtrak. And I'm my senior year. Okay. People are like fucking and like going to prom and like, giving fucking hand jobs at the football game. And like, I was not that at all. I was like very, maybe not different because I was always like very funny. And I think I always had like kind of like a nice, like bubbly personality. But confidence wise, I was definitely very like, not inward. Like, I still was like quite, what's the fucking word? I was still quite, extrovert, but I guess like loving myself, like confidence wise, self esteem was like pretty low. I had these braces, had a missing tooth. Okay, clock that. And then I also had severe acne. And, I'm actually not in makeup right now, so you tell me. But my skin is a lot better. I don't really break out as much. Thank you, God. But I didn't do anything about it because I don't know, I feel like in high school too, again, I wasn't really in myself. I don't know if I was like comfortable to even ask my parents and being like, I need to go on acne medication. Or, I don't know. I was like, a weird, awkward kid. And so I never took care of the acne in high school. It followed me to college and it was like it was just like a lot. Like I always had a pimples. I always did. And like I have photos looking at it now that I'm like, oh my God. Because I would have them on my chin, which was like very active, and then I would get them like cystically on my cheeks a lot, and you can probably see on my current left cheek like that is maybe like where scarring is, or like, it's just where it would be. And I really never thought I would ever see clear skin. Like I kind of was like, this is my life. And when I graduated college my senior year, I got onto Accutane, and then with Accutane I was on it for maybe 6 months or so, 7 months. I really looked crazy on Accutane. I don't know if anyone has been on Accutane, but like it's like so it's like pulls out all the oil, so I feel like my face looked like very thin and gaunt and like see-through almost. Like I it was also winter time and it was during 2020, so it was like COVID, but I looked ill a little bit. Not like I wasn't like it wasn't doing illness to me, but I just looked like fragile, and like you're very dry on Accutane. So even now I still like overline my lips with Aquaphor just because my lips get really dry, but especially with Accutane, like I was a little, I was shriveled up. And I do remember that TMI was like seeing a guy at the time, and like he came to visit me, and you're not really supposed to drink on Accutane. There's all these like laws, but when he came to visit me, I remember that like I was dry as fuck down there because I think it was the Accutane, which is never an issue for me, by the way. But it was just so bizarre. I didn't know that it could affect your whole body so crazy. It was very interesting. So what I did was I went from a literally missing tooth and like not being well, braces, and then I ended up getting them off. I think right before I went to maybe right before like my senior prom. So I did have some time without them. And then I went to school, straight teeth, a lot of acne, and I was chubby. I was just like chubby from like life. Like when I was little, I feel like I was like kind of like thin, but like when I got older and like probably started smoking weed, I wasn't like thick as fuck. I wouldn't say that I was like obese at all, but like I had a lot of baby fat, and like I feel like I still not that I still do, but like I think my body is similar now. Not saying that I'm saying like my art like how it's made up. I had a lot of like I was chubbier. And so I went into college with the straight teeth, but I was still chubby, and I did have a lot of acne. And I remember everyone on my floor was so fucking beautiful. Like I went to the University of Delaware, so it's like very Long Island, very New Jersey. It's like by the shore, not by the shore, but like people were like from the shore, and like were surfers or from Manasquan, and just like really, really pretty girls. And everyone was blonde, which was nuts to me because like, I feel like now brunettes are more, not, they're more praised than they were before, but back in the day, maybe like, 10 years ago or so, I feel like being blonde and really thin, no ass, and like good super tan, and like just kind of like a stereotypical like hot girl was that look. And I was so far from it. Like this is my natural hair color, and I've always had very dark hair. I'm like pretty fair. I don't think that I'm super like tan. And so when I got to college and I saw that I was on the floor with fucking Barbies, I was shooketh. I kind of was like, okay, like now that I'm living alone, like I have like autonomy and like free will to like change my looks if I want. And also everyone on campus, like the whole culture, again, I think just like not me, but people like were working out a lot. Like there was like a girl that would like hit the gym twice a day that I knew, and I was like, that's too much. But I started working out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna like lose weight. And the way that I lost weight was just like I was eating less and working out more, which is I guess how it goes. And I was running, I think like maybe like a mile a day, or I tried to, but I was pretty good. Like I would even go hungover, or at least like walk, because it was close by. And now I feel like no one can pay me to run, which is unfortunate. But I ended up dropping like 10 to 12 pounds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like it made all the difference. Like if you saw photos of me from high school, which I literally was debating on posting, and then I was like, I actually feel bad. I feel bad for her, because I was like, these are like really bad, and like I know her, like I'm like I see her and I get her, and like I understand. So I'm like, I don't want to really put her on blast like that, but if you knew me from those times, you would know. And so when I went to college, I feel like I had a little bit more of a glow up. And with this, I was like coming into myself a bit more, like I was more confident. I was definitely, like, I don't know, I feel like I've always kind of been like, not conceited is the word, but I do, I've always liked myself and like taking photos, but like I was like pretty, not wasn't really cute. It wasn't really working for me. So I was kind of like maybe shyer to step into those, areas where I feel like I would have thrived in, but, I didn't at the young age because it wasn't really clocking to me like self esteem wise. And so in college, I feel like I stepped into that a bit more. I definitely partied. I only really like lost the weight the freshman year because I feel like I saw the results that I wanted. And though even still, I'm like, would love to lose 5 pounds. Like, I feel like I was like, all right, I'm not doing all that again. And I was able to kind of glow up a bit, I guess. My skin was pretty bad, but I was just kind of like caking on makeup and it was like fine. And like, guys were noticing me because, the concealer was good. But in comparison to my high school experience, like, I literally talked to zero boys. Like, now it's funny because, like, obviously those boys or just like, people from the olden days are like, will circle back or like they're not doing or looking as well as they did back in the day. And like, I'm grateful for my journey, but it's just funny because back then, like, I was literally like, I mean, I remember I had like trouble going to prom and stuff like that just because I was like, who am I gonna go with? Like all my friends had boyfriends. Like, it was just like a difficult time, So in college, I feel like I did step into myself more. Though I wasn't stepping into myself as much like career wise. Like I kind of knew it was funny. And if you watch my last video, I had that job at college I knew I was good at and all these things. But I guess I wasn't super like self assured of like what I wanted to do for a job versus like people that were in college and like started comedy in college and like would do stand up in college because it was like you have to be really like bold and pretty sure of yourself versus like I feel like it took me a little bit longer to feel that confidence and to feel like I could do that. And kudos to anyone that's kind of early on in their passion, but especially stand up or like anything, like even acting or like maybe like entertainment wise, like you're really putting yourself out there. So whenever I hear that people started like in college or even like one of my friends who I went to school with that's currently a comedian in New York, like he said like he did like an open mic in college or something. And I'm like, wow, like I could not see myself doing that then. Like I just don't see myself applying myself and like feeling like confident or well to do that. So I think my looks, as surface level as that sounds, I think really played a big part in like how I feel better and like able am to establish and like brand myself and like understand my voice a bit better. So when I graduated from college, I jumped on Accutane and I looked translucent, as I said, and the acne was gone. And I was like, oh my God, this is kind of when I was like, all right, I'm getting into like a better glow up. In college, I wasn't like ugly, and that's even like a harsh word, but I wasn't like, I looked better than I did in high school. And then it wasn't until after college that I really was like prime time, which I feel like not as rare, but like I feel like people in college, like those are like their peak years or like people say that versus I don't feel that way at all. Obviously because like, my career has been very fulfilling post college, but even looks wise, I feel like I'm like, only again, like settling and like, feeling confident and like being secure in myself. So it's been nice. But when I got out of college, when my acne did come back after the Accutane, I kind of was like, OMG, my life is over because the acne was like so debilitating and honestly worse than being chubby, I would say. Like being chubby, okay, fine, but having bad skin is just like, and if you ever like experience acne like this, like it is just horrible. Like it's debilitating. It's like such a handicap and like your I feel like, self esteem, obviously, and just like your emotional state. Like, I would wake up and like feel like I'm getting a pimple and be like, fuck no. Like, I was like very, not unhappy. I don't know if the word is, but like frustrated, because I felt like I was like, maybe destined for more, how cheesy that sounds, but like, I feel like I was a late bloomer a little bit and I wanted to be on the same road and at the same time I'm as my friends who, were having boyfriends in high school or like looking cute and all these things. And I wasn't until, college, even late post college, that now, I feel, kind of up to date with everybody and like a normal person. I mean, this sounds really dramatic, but you get it. So when I came off of the Accutane, I had bad skin, and then I ended up, what did I end up doing? I ended up going to a dermatologist literally a year ago. Not even a year ago, less than a year ago, because I went in like January. My skin was so bad even 2 years ago. Like, just like I really had, I have such sensitive skin. It's very strange, but I then started getting on oral medication. I did like a doxycycline with a spironolactone, and I feel like the girls, if you know, you know, or the guys, I feel like this is like the insane combo. And if you're like struggling with acne and you're on spironolactone and you're like it's not really doing anything, you have to do the doxy mixture with the spurno, and then it's good. I like really never thought that I would have clear skin, or just like have skin that doesn't feel like it's breaking out all the time without going back on Accutane, which I did not want to do. So I just wanted to share that little story. Just like fun. I don't know. I feel like I shared a lot about like my career kind of, coming up and all that from the beginning. But I think it's also important to pair it with like my emotional state then, because I've obviously haven't always been like that bitch and like super confident and like, not that I have so much success, but the success that I have now and whatnot, does play a role in my life back then. Like, I feel like it makes sense that like I'm like funny, or just like have these like I know, kind of like maybe more like disarming or like self-deprecating humor a little bit, just because like I've been there and I get it, and like I still sometimes even feel like that little chick that was like kind of ugly but like really sweet, like it's just the journey. And I honestly do feel like if you like, you look, what is the saying? I mean, every time I say what is the saying in a video, I never know it. Knew it. I never know it. Just like that saying, what is it? You feel good, look good, feel good. That was an easy one. Look good, feel good. And that could be with anything, with your clothes, or with, your skin, or your body, face, aura, just anything. I feel like that is so true, because I don't think that I would be here now. I'm not like killing myself, but I don't think I would be like doing what I'm doing if I wasn't able to like really like, be a little bit more proactive about like trying to get everything in order that I knew would make me happy and like feel better about myself. Because I feel like that's when you're full of self, that's when you're your best self, when you're like feeling good, you're looking good, and like you're able to, move a little bit better or more confidently, or like maybe you feel a little bit more prepared for opportunities, which I kind of feel now is like the time where I'm like, wow, I'm like, I can do this. And like, maybe back then when I got called for this commercial in Texas, like I would have been like, maybe unhappy or insecure, like I had bad skin that day. And, just like, I don't know, I feel like when you take care of yourself in a way that you know that you want and that you feel good in, like you're more confident, you're like, I can do this, like I just feel like it's rewarding, and it kind of feeds into each other, because I feel like it helps your mental a little bit. So just wanted to share that not everything is as it looks or as it seems. And yeah, I think this is it for today's little catch up. I wanted to catch you guys up on my week. I apologize about last week. That will not happen again. And yeah, I just want to give you a little more background story. And because I feel like this is a theme that plays out kind of often in my life, or I at least consider it. I mean, I've only been alive 27 years, but that was like a crucial, that was like a big transition time for me. And I feel like it is always going to be like a common theme, that like my adolescence was a little bit not rocky, but like there was, it was transformative. How about that? A little, I had to like do something to like kind of get me where I wanted to be. So if you needed some inspiration or just some reassurance that, anything is possible, then boom, here you have it. I'm going to make a savory bowl. My mouth is literally watering, but I want to tell you guys that I have shows coming up. I have a weekend in Baltimore, Maryland. If you're from Maryland and come out to a show, I'm there for 4 shows, Friday and Saturday of November 28th and 29th. So Thanksgiving with me. That sounds fun. And then I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to go to Ohio in December. I am the 17th, 18th, and 21st. I have a show. I am going to Columbus. Kind of forgot. I'm going to Columbus. I'm going to Cincinnati, and then I'm going to Toledo. Every time I say it, I've been saying it like Toledo, and everyone's like, "Why are you doing a Spanish accent? It's Ohio." But hey, who knows? There could be a big Spanish community there. But come through. I think it'll be so much fun, and it's gonna be great. I have tickets in my link tree. You already know, but if you're not following me on Instagram or TikTok, get there. I do post obviously more on social media than I do on YouTube, but I am, coming around to being more active here. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next week. And if you want something, if you want me to talk about something, or you really enjoy me, like, talking about my childhood, or, you like, my dating advice, or like, more about like, I don't know, my weekend, tell me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.